So these are all the Android services. We have still something to go through. So as I've told you, a service is basically a component of Android application which is going to run in the background of your application just for the reasons to perform long-running operations without interacting with the user. These services do not interact with the user, but user is aware about these things, that what is happening. Those who are IT guys, they know that in the background there are some processes. As now you know that we're using Android application, so what are the things that are happening in the background? So there are two particular services that are going to run. So first one is started, another one is bound. So the methods that they're using is start service, and another one is bound. So inside them we have some other methods like we do have in activities, like on create, on stop, on pause, on start, restart, something like that. So in here also we have on start, on create, and when you go to on create and on start, then service will be running. And if you wanted to close it, you can go like in the back side when you close an application or the service, it's going to destroy that, and then service will be shut down. And then on bound also, I can say we're using bind service or bind service. In that we have these particular methods inside it, which is on create, on bind, or on rebind, when you have to rebind and a service. At that time we can it's just like restart of activity, or unbind when you have to stop it, and then if you have to close or shut down the service, on destroy, and the service will be stopping its work or process. Okay, now the main thing that you have to do with the help of Java, or you have to do in Android Studio. So to create a service, what you do, you create a Java class that extends the service base class, or one of its existing subclasses. Existing subclasses. So the service base class defines several callback methods, as I've told you. And the most important are given, you can say given above, or you can even write them below. So one more important thing is you do not need to implement all the callback methods. However, it's important that you understand each one and implement those that ensure your app behaves the way user expects. All right. So if you don't want any problems to be created in the application that you're developing, so you should make sure that you're going to use all those particular methods so that there will not be any problem in any application that you're going to develop today or tomorrow or a day after tomorrow or after 1 year. Okay. So as I've told you, there are methods. So on start command is the first method. On start command is the first method. On start command, C is capital here, it's not small. What it is, the Android system calls this method when another component, such as an activity, requests that the service is started. You understand? So when you're having an application installed in your Android system, so Android system will call this method only when another component, such as an activity, is going to request that service is started by calling start service method. So if you implement this method, it's your responsibility to stop the service when its work is done by calling stop self or so you want me to write the entire thing. So the system calls this method when another component such as an activity requests that the service be started. Service should be started by calling start service method. So one more point about it, if you implement this method, it's our responsibility to stop the service when its process or when its work is done by calling the stop self method or stop service. Simply stop service method. Okay, got it? Carlos, you here? Hello.
Oh, I forgot I was mute. Sorry. Yeah, I understand it.
So on start command, it's basically a method when another activity requests a service to be started, we call start service, and that's start command. Second is on bind, as I've told you. What is it? The system calls this method when another computer wants to bind with the service by calling bind service method. So if you implement this method, you need to provide an interface that clients use to communicate with the service. And so because it's going to send the requests as it works with the client side and with the server side. So if you are going to implement or use this method, so it's very important you have to provide an interface that client is going to use, the mobile phone provider user is going to use to communicate with that service by returning an iBinder or an iBinder object. So you must always implement this method. If you do not want to allow binding, then you should return null. You have to return. So, but it's very much important that you have to add this method if you want that your application is based on internet, based on client, or it's having a different. Some people used to have their entire thing in the application. So, but still, all the applications are nowadays having server and client side, and you always used to have. You need to go through this on bind method, and it's mostly used. And third is simply unbind. So unbind is when system calls this method, all the clients have disconnected with a particular interface published by the service. So when you call this particular method, whatever the clients are, for example, we have millions of WhatsApp users. If they will start this particular, if they will stop this particular, if they will use this method unbind, so that means all the WhatsApp users will be disconnected. They will not receive the data, or they will not receive the message that you are sending to them. So, but it should always be connected. Fourth one is on rebind. Third, yeah, on rebind Same thing when something stops and you're going to start it again. So the system, your Android system calls this method when new clients have connected to the service. So after it had previously been notified that all had disconnected in its unbind intent. So at that time when there are new users in the particular service, so they need to rebind it always so that every particular user will get the service. OnCreate is the fifth one, which is going to help you when the service is first created using OnCreate start command, then or onBin, the call is required to perform one-time setup. So it's just on create. So it will help you to set up one-time setup will be. Sixth one is on destroy, which you know. I don't need any explanation or I don't want to give, so it's on destroy. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So tomorrow we'll have an example, but today I will just give you a brief demonstration about it. Where's my Android Studio? So these are, this is the main activity file. If you want to create another main activity file, you can right click here, new Java class. It's activity, scrolling, login, empty. These are activities if you have to go with login activity, empty, settings activity, but I will just have another Java class. Superclass interface package is the same. Yeah.
Mr. Johar, in which
Yep.
day we will do the final exam?
Yep. Just now, I will confirm. Tomorrow I will confirm and I will let you know. It will be most of probably it will be on 6th of May. So get ready.
Okay.
All right. So
Wait,
all
what?
get ready. So this is for those who have not given the exam yet. So name, for
Okay.
example, service, not for you. Service. Have you given all the? You'll create a service here. All right. You need to get all the things here, and you created public class, and then you have to extend it. Service extend is this particular thing. All right. So app.compat. So it will automatically come here. Then you should be having all these services here also. Or you can say service extend service. I think it should be service. Yep. So it's service. So we're going to create a new class with service extends, but we have added this thing. Let me just close it and delete it. There's no way to delete. We have to go through the path of it. Yeah, here it is delete. So new Java class, we'll say hello service was, and then okay. And we'll say hello service extends service Android app. Yep. So Android app, you have there are a lot of things here. So these things we're going to learn later on. It will take a lot of time, and we'll just in the next class we'll just show you a real-time example. We're going to just go through the steps of it, and I will show you that in that time. All right? Because we'll not be able to complete. We have just 10 minutes. So today we went through just one example, about how we went through, or I just taught you how the activity main is working here. So what are the methods like on create, on start, and how you can find the logcat of them, and how you can see the methods have been created. Right? You are clear with this thing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is enough for today. Just hold on a sec. I'm just going to minimize this, and I was going through Tektrons. I will just check it out.
Mr. Johar, can you just send for me the screen?
File. The
The
file I will
record?
send you. Wait a sec.
Okay.
The screen. You want me to share the screen?
No. I just want the record.
Yeah. I will share it to you. Not an issue. I'll share it. I will upload it on YouTube, and then I will share the link to you. Okay.
Okay.
So wait a sec. I was looking on the leaders are here, but there is a long way to go. Include the points stage. Qatar, yep. Hana here. Oh gosh, wonderful. She's my student. Where are you, Carlos?
I'm too dumb to join competition, sir.
Mohammed Ahmed, she's here.
See, all smart people. Wow.
Yep, only these people. Only 2 people from AppTech. Both are my students. Let them just know also. Now, where is the group ACCPR3? They are good. All the students in this class are wonderful. They are sisters. Hana and
Oh, is this the two that I think you talked about them before, the 2 sisters.
Yeah. Yep. They are really great. She's in CCQ also. She used to go college. I mean, attending before used to go college during the whole day from morning 7 to 4, then comes to AppTech from 7 to 10. So all day. I'm gonna stop recording here.